What is up, everybody? Peace here and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back with Algeria at our 1x speed and we are on day 4. And everything looks about the same. Italy is not green yet, so it looks like they have not accepted our application to the coalition just yet. But that's okay. This is only a 1x speed, so it can take some time. France looks like they've only taken that one area and nothing else, but they do have troops there because the smoke went away. So we do know there isn't a French force on that island or on that city right there. Speaking of cities, so like I mentioned in the last episode about moving these troops too soon, well, it did happen. So that unit I moved over from this city took too long to get here, and as a result, the local insurgency showed up. Now you get to see exactly what I was talking about from the last episode. So as soon as the city becomes vacated and it's not up to par, this will happen. And just like how I said before, the city lost all of those buildings I had before it. So those are all resources I'm now going to have to rebuild. But it's okay. We have a unit there with a life of 10.4, where the local insurgency has a life of 10.3. That is a close battle. But if you can tell from before, they started with 25 health, where our mechanized infantry only had 15. So we are doing more damage to them than they are doing to us, even though the health is very close right now. But just for safety measures, we're going to go set our plane to attack just to help out, even though it's only a air superiority fighter. It will help us a lot in the sense of getting, I guess, some cover there. It was bombing or attacking the local insurgency with that jet. Now, with that being said, we need to figure out what our next move is going to be. We have a lot of troops here. We have a lot more troops building up slowly. We landed our force here at the bottom of Spain and took over that little bit of the island from the UK, which does mean that we do have a war currently going on with the United Kingdom. Not ideal. What we could do is maybe send a force to the backside of the United Kingdom right here and see if we can take some of that land. Not sure how risky that would be doing in a 1x speed game, but we also could utilize the fact that Portugal is AFK, Spain is also AFK, and we could start a scrimmage with both of those countries. Definitely a bit more realistic of an option. We do have the manpower already there, and it would be very easy to send this troops up there, rally these 3 to 4, put them here, and continue to attack. But we also very easily can not do anything and just keep building up our troops. We are short on supplies, but I believe we could buy some, so we need 3,250. Looks like we could purchase, I guess, 5 for 3. Why not? But you can purchase a couple. So let's do about 300. That would give us all the supplies we need to produce these infantry. And we are also upgrading to the next level here. So level 2, which will give our unit a little bit of a boost. They still have some low attack mods when it comes to the mountains, jungle, and the tundra in the Arctics, but we hopefully will not be battling in any of those areas. But let's take a look at the terrain. Let's see what we're getting into over here, because I see mostly mountains. But let's just double check, and we could do that using the terrain function right here. So we can push up. The easiest route of attack, it looks like, would be to land more troops here and to push directly in. The reason being is how this map is colored out. So this yellow is considered more of a desert area. The whitish color that you see here is indicated by the mountains. This light green color is considered a flatland, so it's very easy for troops to move across that area, especially if you're talking about places out like in Russia where a lot of it is this flatland. especially in this lower region of Ukraine and Russia. There's also, looks like there's some trees here, which is a slightly darker green, but not the darkest of them all. But does add a little bit of difficulty for navigation, or traversing through these areas. But the hardest for our troops to get through is going to be what they consider the jungle. Now, whether or not we have any jungle area on this map that I can show you guys, I'm not sure. But it is a much darker green, and that area our mechanized infantry cannot travel through that well. It has a hard time, it loses a lot of attack points, and we need to be careful of those regions if we're utilizing these units. So right here, this is what I'm talking about. This type of terrain, our units cannot push through easily. They will get bogged down, they will lose a percentage of their attack points, and overall just not have a fun day. And then that leaves one more color, this off red color, which is all of the city areas or urban areas in the game. So just an idea of how the game breaks down. Spain has a wonderful mountain ridge line here to help separate them from France and themselves. And this is important because the way this game works, if we decide to take over Spain, it would really help give us a good barrier when it comes to France. If we could get some units to protect this city and get some boats in the water, because the game, when you utilize the AI's ability to move troops, it will always move the path of least resistance. So I took these 3 units and wanted to move them to here. Instead of going across the land, because there's a bunch of different obstacles to go through in a sense of terrain wise, besides this lower one right here, it's easier for these 2 cities to go out into the water, come down, and disembark here in the city than it would be to travel through the mountains and through all this other terrain. And the AI works the same way for every other country, unless you manually set your units to go in a different direction by, let's say, selecting one and using this waypoint to say, no, I want you to go somewhere else. That is important to know, because that's most likely why France attacked here without going through any of these areas. They disembarked here, they landed here, and they attacked. With that being said, if you can put a significant force on these areas, countries like France are not going to be able to just come and land and take over your islands without risking going through these mountains, wasting the time, wasting the resources, and opening themselves up for a counterattack while their troops are well on health and attack ability. So we can utilize all this information to our advantage. Now, I'm going to take these units, I'm going to put my trust that Italy is not going to be doing anything too crazy and move them here, because my goal is to take these units, attack Malaga, and then take these units and go up to Seville. Back and what happened here? Did my unit actually fail to take that over? Oh, mamma mia. Where's my plane? I'm saying my point over there. I can't believe that the attack actually failed. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. We do have a war with Spain now. I'm not sure why exactly. I don't recall attacking Spain at any point. But Spain is now our enemy. Maybe something happened. Maybe Spain tried to attack us and we won. User for Discord, Spain is declared war against you. I don't exactly know why. It doesn't say Spain attacked me, and I don't believe I attacked Spain. Barbaros, nope, Spain just decided, it woke up and decided to choose violence. So, alright then, Spain, if that's how you want to be, I'm just gonna invade your area. Maybe you thought because I took down here that I took his land? I don't know. But with that being said, we're gonna take these 4 units, besides the plane. And we're gonna move them here. Actually, no, we're gonna move them to like right here. And once all 4 units get there, we will then push into Arbat and get that land. That is very sad that we just had that happen. Alright, what I want to do next is we're going to go and produce more troops. So I know when I go and attack Spain, they are going to retaliate. Now we are very low on our supplies here. We're only making 79 an hour. So we do need to find a way to compensate for that lack of supplies. So we're going to buy a little bit. That should knock off, at least make it the next armed industry. So all of these are producing, and we will be able to up our supplies as well as our other necessary components that we need. And ideally, that will also speed up the process of our troops being made. I'm even tempted, knowing that this is going to be our weak spot. This is where we're already falling behind. I'm going to queue another arms industry. We're actually going to move that up in the list. That's the next thing to be produced. Oh, well, maybe not. It's going to take 2 days. We're going to find the happy medium. So I like to try to balance out whatever's next in the queue based on how many days it's going to take and the minutes it's going to take to produce that unit or that next building. A lot of times when you have multiple different buildings queuing and there's a lot of other stuff going on, especially in 4x speed, this might take 2 days, but something up here might take 5 days. So I shuffle them up and down so that way the things that can be done quicker get out the door, and it will free up some free stuff for me to use later. But now we know. So France has here. We have 2 options. We could take this unit and push for this city. I know originally said I would want to go for Seville. And then we take this unit and go over here. The reason why I'm thinking about doing this is that if we do attack Spain, they're going to want to attack back. And if they attack back, we are currently moving all of our forces away from our cities, so we're not going to have anyone to defend. But if I take this unit and attack this city right here, I take this unit and attack that city, I take away 2 of his areas that he can relaunch men out of. Now, I do have to worry about this spot, because he could move force, recapture here, and then launch them from here. That is a possibility. So I have to be kind of smart. I have 6 and 1, and then I have 9 and 1 here. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put 3 of them, send them this way. I'm going to send this unit to attack this city, and because they have the artillery, they're going to attack from farther away and weaken the city severely. And I'm actually going to take the rest of the units. Oh, I did not mean to move him. Keep him back here. The rest of these 6 up to attack this city. So hopefully, if this is done correctly, all the options that Spain will have to counterattack through sea will be taken from them. And they will either have to conquer one of these other areas from a different city, get this area back from France, in order to push back and re-attack us. Right now, I'm going to take this next move and attack here, and we'll see what happens. Now, ideally, this is going to take, if I get the right one, embarking 40 minutes, and I'm not sure, disembarking for 2 hours. It doesn't tell me how long it's going to take, and I'm actually going to delay this attack by, it said it takes what, at least 1 hour to get going, embarking 40 minutes, disembarking 2 hours. I'm actually going to delay this attack to be a little bit more on time with the other units. I'm going to say maybe 8 hours, or no. 8 hours, 10 minutes. That seems about fair. So, they're going to wait. I don't know why one unit's big and one unit's small. Let's do a refresh on the server real quick. Because ideally, unless all these troops weren't in the right spot, I'm not sure why it looks like that. There we go. That was a weird glitch. Alright, so yes, attack this city, and then be in a delay for 8 hours. The reason why I'm saying this delay is because I don't want this unit to start entering into Spain, and Spain will get a notification when that happens and start launching their troops. Ideally, if he has any troops here, he's going to be able to launch them almost immediately, because it will take time to get from here, which as soon as they enter this area, it's going to notify Spain that they are being attacked, and then they will stop here and start firing on this. So he does have between here and here to start trying to launch out his troops from this location. But that also means that if I could figure out how long it's going to take to attack or at least travel this distance, it would help me time this better, but I'm going to estimate just as how long the game takes, about 8 hours. So we'll come back probably tomorrow or a day or two, and we'll see that next stage of the game taking place. Italy still has not seemed to accept our invite. That's okay. We already knew we were in a fight with the United Kingdom. Let's see if we can actually start a new trade and go piece for piece. And if they accept it, that will help us with our production, because every time you get into a war, it will affect your morale of each city, and it will also affect how much resources you produce. So hopefully we can kind of get away from having too many wars going at once, and we'll see what happens. That's going to be about it for this episode. Nothing too crazy so far. I appreciate every single one of you who are tuning in and following along with the series. If you like to watch more of this kind of content, I do have another series going on for, I believe it's going to be for Nigeria, but it's at the 4x speed, so that content is a lot more active, more things are happening in the game. So feel free to go over and see that video. And if not, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for coming out again, and see ya.